I'm here at the Cool Men You're Not Expo in Atlanta, Georgia. This is an annual expo that Cool Men You're Not has every year to showcase some of their games that have already come out, plus games that will be coming out in the future. Now, it's not just about games that they make. They have a games library where they have other games that they have people to come out and play on the free gaming areas, and they have other events such as panels showing off techniques for painting. Painting's a big deal. They bring a lot of painters in here to show how to paint their miniatures and any other miniatures. There's events like WizKids, which runs HeroClix events here. So what I want to do this weekend is I want to take a look at some of the games that are coming out, especially some of the newer ones, give you some previews of what's going to be coming out from these guys who make really good games with really good miniatures, and see that you might be interested in some of them. So let's get started. So, myself, Rodney Smith, Pete Shirey, and Brittanie Bowe just finished playing, well, your second game of Blood Rage, but our first game of Blood Rage by Cool Men You're Not. This is a Vikings-themed game designed by Eric Lane, coming out by Cool Men You're Not. So, we just wrapped up. Guys, your first thoughts, your first impressions. Rodney?
I just love how everything is on all the sheets. All the rules, like the core items are all here. So I think once you've learned the game, you step away for a couple months and come back, it should come back pretty quickly how to play.
Pete?
I don't want to talk about the score, let's just say that.
Since he talked about the card, which is excellently done, I'm going to talk about the components. The minis look amazing. The board looks beautiful. The component quality on everything is fantastic. I mean, you can't ask for much more from a Cool Men You're Not game. This delivers on all stages.
Brittanie?
I am definitely going to talk about the gameplay itself. I feel like the drafting mechanic makes it so every single action that you take in the game feels meaningful and powerful, and it just makes the game really fulfilling.
Right, because you built your hand.
Oh yeah.
You created your own actions for it, yeah.
And that's what made it super enjoyable to me. It has a Euro feel, even though it's very not.
I was going to say that. It has a very Euro feel, but it's an area control game, I guess, somewhat, because you're getting in there and you're fighting. But the drafting mechanic is cool because the 8 cards that you get to start with are all phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to pick which one of the 8, and then you're trying to build a strategy off of that.
While also stunting your opponents from using the cards that you just passed them.
And you're getting points for winning in battle. You're getting points for dying in battle. Like, there's so many different ways. It's just about finding what's the best way. So even when I was getting kind of jammed up, I could find some other way to maybe squeeze out a few points somewhere else.
Never been more satisfied with losing battles than the way this game is portrayed.
Yeah, and it's well designed that as you play, the provinces you're fighting over or sections are getting destroyed, so it makes the map tighter, which causes more battles towards the end. So the last round is just one big, huge, epic battle.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So I backed it. I'm glad I backed it.
I backed it.
Glad you backed it. Everybody else glad they backed
Single
it.
mom life.
Regardless, check this game out. It's coming out in the fall. I think the backers get it in September. We all enjoyed it. Can't wait to play again. Thanks. So we just got finished playing Eric's new game that's going to be coming out from Cool Men You're Not in a couple months on Kickstarter, called The Others. Right. And Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
The Others, it's a big box board game. Biggest game I've ever done, in fact. It's a big box board game about a horror board game about like corruption and redemption and terror. one player plays the evil seven sins, trying to destroy, corrupt, or do horrible things to the city, and up to four other players play heroes that are trying to defend it in some way. The Sins player just got to eradicate the heroes. That's how he wins. The heroes have to go through a complex storyboard, like a mission tree, and where they choose, like, goes from step to step. Sometimes they have to make some choices, and then they finish the mission and they win. And then most of the game is about, like, of course, getting out your rail guns and gunning down monsters, or putting out fires, or keeping the city from, like, destroying itself. But you have to, while doing that, you have to manage your corruption, right, which is the central point of the game. Right, as whenever you make rolls, you roll a bunch of dice. To do that, you have to choose whether you want to take corruption, get a whole bunch of bonuses. But when you get to the end of your corruption, you die really, really fast. And of course, dying is what makes the bad guy win.
But it's super, super tempting to take the corruption because it gives you such good stuff. So you kind of ultimately throw yourself towards your own death. Because you need those perks.
Except you were just a little too quick to take corruption.
I was pretty quick,
saying.
Yeah, let's take it.
You can't win the game without taking any corruption.
That's true.
But you take too much.
You tried for a while.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
And you go to a place.
What did you say, Brittany?
Brittany, you should just say what happened in our playthrough.
Because for like several days now, we've heard how many tears we're going to shed.
Yeah.
As we lose our characters and we, the apocalyptic world comes upon us and we're all destroyed.
And
However,
to be fair though, we did lose almost all
everybody died
except for one.
You all got to
there were
experience
7 characters, and as long as you have at least one character, or at least a character that can come in at the end, at least you don't lose all your characters, you win. And at the end of the game, Brittany was playing as a werewolf.
Yes, I
and
was.
took a bold move at the end.
Yeah, and so I was on the second to last corruption slot, and I decided that I was going to turn into a werewolf and dash over to the final boss and take that final corruption, which gave me an extra 2 dice to roll, as well as an extra 4 fight or wounds to give him. And he had 7 health, and I rolled 4 wounds
rolled like
and
a
just
champ.
wiped him out.
And you died.
And I died.
She died. But luckily, there was one other character that could come into play that let us have to win the game. But Eric, this is a great game. My first impressions, I'll let everybody give their thoughts and first impressions of. This is a co-op game. Eric said you guys got to play together, and we did. I think as the game went on, we realized how important it was to discuss strategy and work together as a team. And I think that's what really helped us as an end. It's a fun game. It's very thematic. It's tense. Because as you're trying to manage your corruption and people are dying, and you see there's basically a clock ticking in the game that's going to make it harder and harder every time.
The city does get pretty gross near the end of it,
there's
right?
a lot of fires and corruptions going on.
Yeah, everything just ramps up, right? As you go along, every turn in the game you're playing, like, you were getting more and more powers unlocked all the time. So we were racing against the clock. I have to repeat what Marty said, like, the teamwork was really essential. Like, okay, who's going to go first? I'm going to go first because I can trigger this thing. It's a clear path for you to come running through, and then we got to get the equipment on you, and all that kind of conversation is really, really important. Yeah. All the while, Eric's over there cackling from these guys' private cards. He gets to listen to everything we're saying. He's thinking, how am I going to screw with their plans?
Yes, and he did. And Brittany, what were your thoughts, your first impressions?
My first impressions of the miniatures is that they're gorgeous, and I want to paint all of them so badly that it hurts, but I won't have a copy of it.
Look at this hand. Yeah. Some painting has been happening during gaming today. Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm calling them tears.
Yeah.
So this is the others. This is going to be coming out from Guillotine Games, designed by Eric Lang, published by Cool Mini or Not.
Yep.
Coming out on Kickstarter sometime later on this year.
And miniatures by Studio McVeigh.
Yep. And so again, coming from Cool Mini or Not, you can expect gorgeous miniatures, fun game, very thematic. Be looking for it this fall because I know I will be.
And probably a couple stretch goals. Probably.
Or not.
Probably. Or not. Yeah, you never know. All right, very cool.
Thanks for teaching us, Eric.
Thank you for playing. Next time, tears.
Tears.
All right, here we go. Got this. Bring it. You ready? Come on, partner. Drop. Ah, my fire!
there's a quick look. My visit to Cool Mini or Not Expo. I had a great time. If you're wondering about the numbers that they have here, this year they had pre-registered around 200 to 300, and they usually expect 50 to 100 people to walk in. So 400 to 500 people. Did that add up right? 200 to 300, 300. I don't know. They really want to keep the con somewhat small. They said they actually may cap it eventually in the future to around 600 or 700 or so, because the idea is to keep it more of an intimate convention where people can go around and play games and meet with people and get to do a lot of things and interact with people. For example, the past couple of years, Eric Lang has been here, as you saw in the videos, and they wanted to keep somebody like that accessible where people can just kind of walk up to them and talk, and you couldn't do that at some place like Gen Con. So that's kind of the feel that they want to keep here. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's one of those that if you want to put it on your radar, especially if you're a Cool Mini or Not fan, with all the great games they have coming out, you know, in the past, such as Zombicide was a big hit, Arcadia Quest is a big hit, and now they're kind of spreading out into other types of genres. In fact, one game I didn't get to talk about was a co-op game called Grizzled. This is a game that's currently out in France. And this is just a simple card game with simple tokens where the theme of the game is that you are the French military in World War I fighting in the trenches. And the idea is it's kind of a set collection game where all of you have cards with pictures on them that range from icons of like gas masks to missiles or bullets to whistles, and then in the background it's a season, winter or summer or rain, and you have to play a card from your hand. And the thing is everybody tries to get rid of their cards, and the goal is you can't have three matching things on the table, whether it be the background, the sun, the weather, snow, etc., or one of the icons on the card. And if you have three matching backgrounds, you fail. And when that happens, there are more cards added to the stack that's dealt out to you each round. So the whole goal is to get rid of all the cards in your hand and deplete this stack of cards. There's two decks, and deplete this one stack of cards. The other deck, it refills the other deck, and as the other deck fills the deck that you're drawing from to hand out to people, if that deck goes away, you lose the game. But if everybody gets rid of the cards in their hand and gets rid of the deck that you're drawing from, then you win. I know it sounds kind of clunky, but actually it's a fun little game. But I wanted to bring that up because that has nothing to do with miniatures or anything like that. They're looking to bring this out at Gen Con for about 20 bucks, because like I said, it's nothing but a few cards and some tokens. So they're trying to branch out into other areas besides just these kind of high-end games with really expensive miniatures. Now they're not going to stop doing that because that's what they're known for. But again, like many other companies, they've kind of found their niche, and they're trying to spread their wings a little bit and try and do other things. So if any of the games that you saw this weekend you thought might be interesting to you, again, the ones that we kind of previewed are ones that are getting ready to come out, such as The Others, and Blood Rage has already been on Kickstarter, so that's going to be coming out this fall, and that was probably the hit of the weekend for me. I got to play that 2 times and really enjoyed it. I like the area control mechanics with the drafting mechanics. So it has a Euro feel to it, plus a little bit of Ameritrash feel when it comes to the combat or whatnot. And if you're wondering, hey Marty, aren't you wearing the same shirt that you wore at the intro of this video, like at the beginning? Yes, because I actually shot the intro about, I don't know, 2 minutes ago. Yes, when I got here, I didn't have time to go shoot the intro video. It's like, hey, I'm here. I hope I get to have fun this weekend, because you just kind of get swept up in the smaller conference. You start seeing people that you know and everything, and all of a sudden, let's play, and then you get into playing, and so it's a really, really laid-back con. Smaller cons typically are, and this one is. So it is kind of a niche con. It's like one of those things that it's not going to be heavily publicized. You may have never even heard about it, but it is fun. And if you're in the area or part of the South, there's not a lot of huge conventions in the South. Maybe Dice Tower Con now is getting pretty big, but down here, it's in a great area of town. It's downtown, so there's a lot of places to eat. We ate a lot of good places over the weekend. So if you think about wanting to come next year, keep an eye out on their website at Cool Mini or Not. They have a website too called CMONExpo.com. I have not seen when the dates are next year, but thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.